bug deck. This time another iteration of a bug deck, right? We've seen this is the third bug deck, and they're all different.
This is the third Abrupt Decay deck we've had on camera, and this is our fourth round.
Yeah, I actually said on the In Contention podcast that that Abrupt Decay actually made me want to play Bug in Legacy.
So Stephen Thompson playing Nick Fit. Basically, the key interaction is between Veteran Explorer and the card on the stack right now, Cabal Therapy. Cabal Therapy is seen in dredge decks and whatnot. I wonder what this Cabal Therapy name, because that Brainstorm did not go straight to the graveyard.
Yeah, Delver apparently. So
yeah, not a huge fan of that name. There's already one in play.
Sure. Yeah.
I would have 100% named Brainstorm.
So we see Jace, Brainstorm, Daze, and a bunch of lands, I think, as he scooped them up. And
so yeah, Veteran Explorer is a 1/1 for a single green mana. When it dies, you get to put two basic. Each player gets to search their library for 2 basic lands.
Attention, Magic players.
It's odd because I love when people play Veteran Explorer against me. I'm just like, great, thanks. Thanks for the land.
And then Steven will use his extra lands to just play basically a standard deck.
Yeah, strangely
he's got a bunch of or more accurately, a cube deck.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
He's the coolest cube deck I've ever seen. He has Eternal Witness, Sun Titan, Recurring Nightmare, and then he can use Recurring Nightmare. Academy Rector is also in the deck. There are 2 Baneslayer Angels in this particular version.
He's got a Thragtusk and a Sigarda in this deck.
Yeah, he's even got a Fierce Empath, because, why not?
Because, yeah, Yosei the Morning Star.
Yeah, that forms a lock with Recurring Nightmare. Yosei, any other creature in Recurring Nightmare, you just loop them and lock them out of draw steps.
That seems good. I don't like when my opponents draw cards.
Oh no, block them on untap phases. I'm sorry.
Oh,
they still get to draw.
Just can't ever untap. Yeah, it's basically a stasis for them.
Just for them.
Yeah. So Delver gets in for 1. Dark Confidant joins the fray, although I think he's going to stay back, and as long as if Steven's able to put anything in front of it, he'll hang out. But until then, he will actually join the fray. As in the red zone, the battle.
Not the band?
No, not the band, the fray, I don't think. I think he's just gonna hang out here in Magic the Gathering.
I believe
decks,
in continuing with the theme of cards that are not seen in any other Legacy deck, I believe Stephen Thompson drew a Diabolic Intent. Diabolic Intent is a demonic tutor, except for you have to sacrifice a creature in addition to the cost. So not exactly the...
There it is, from like Plane Shift. But otherwise it's Diabolic, it's Demonic Tutor. Right?
Yeah.
Brainstorm from Ryan.
There's Ryan with the actual, cheap cards in Legacy.
Steven not doing all that much. Basically he's cast Cabal Therapy, which didn't hit.
Yeah.
It's like a real bad Gataxian probe.
And yeah, Steven has the combo, the Yosei Recurring Nightmare combo, but nothing else to actually do with it. So I'd say he's in a little bit of trouble. And that's the thing is Legacy is not known for its friendly. All right, so. Flips Delver and reveals Thoughtseize to Dark Confidant with the same Thoughtseize, and then draws a card. He could have stacked that differently, so he draws the land with Bob and then reveals the Thoughtseize to Delver.
In any case, Delver flips.
And the Forest.
There's a Thoughtseize. Let's see what's going on. Diabolic Intent, Yosei, Recurring Nightmare, and a Plains. So he's got that combo and the Demonic Tutor, and You know, the diabolic intent. And
of course, it's foreign. Why wouldn't it be?
Right, because that would just, you know.
Because I think his goal is Steven's goal is to get all of his opponents to call judges for oracle wordings as often as possible.
So far, I mean, he has textless lands. What is the text on that?
Swamp is pretty much well known.
Maybe people know that.
Oh, shocking!
We're
getting
getting
the oracle
text?
text on all the
Really?
cards.
Yeah. So.
I would have never guessed.
Here you go. Take a look. So show us Recurring Nightmare, Choi. Since they're getting Oracle text, and we've already shown Diabolic Intent. There's Recurring Nightmare, not a foreign version. Thank you, Choi. And that is from a rare from Exodus. Black and 2, enchantment. Sacrifice a creature. Return Recurring Nightmare to owner's hand. Put target creature card from your graveyard into play. Play this ability as a sorcery. So
it's one half of the lock with Yosei the Morningstar.
You want to put Yosei up there for us, Choi? Or
there we go.
There it is. When it's put into a graveyard, target player skips his or her next untap step, and you can tap up to 5 of their
original Ravnica Limited All-Star Faith Fetters
comes down, takes out the Insectile Aberration.
For the first time in Magic history, Faith Fetters got dazed.
So Fate's Fetters dazed, and Ryan's going to be able to attack again for 5 here with his Insectile Aberration and Dark Confidant. And he does, knocking Steven to 8.
Looks like Ryan has a grip full of cards, but not much to do.
You mean Steven? Or
Ryan has the grip full of cards. Okay. Steven doesn't have any cards.
Ryan's fine with you know, he's got pressure, he's drawing cards.
5. He's got a Snapcaster Mage, a Jace, and Abrupt Decay. He's got it all. Yeah, it's just that Steven isn't, it's all reactive and Steven isn't doing anything.
Sure, but so I'm fine with that. You have the pressure,
Ryan's
right?
content to just sit there, bash for 5.
Finds Wasteland and Delver on top of his library. Gets a free card off of Bob, no life.
No, better than all, and we're done.
Yeah, Jace the Mind Sculptor comes down and Steven says, yeah, can't fight 2 Planeswalkers, not at 8. Not when I'm about to go to 3.
Not at 3, yeah.
So Stephen Thompson falls in game 1 of round 6 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open in Providence, Rhode Island. Ryan Phramer taking that one with Bug Delver. And, you know, started off right. Like, Delver, turn 1, and it kind of went all the way. It didn't flip right away, but with the help of Bob to just give Ryan the answers that he needed to keep Steven from really doing anything.
Only needed a few.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Steven wasn't able to really put anything together. Ryan had a few counter spells that he needed, Daze, Spell Pierce, and you know, that Faith's Fetters would have been pretty big. At least bought Steven a few more turns. Not only almost undoing the first attack for 5 that he hit, but getting rid of the Insectile Aberration, reducing Ryan's attack force to just a 2-power Dark Confidant. Would have been big, but yeah, Ryan did have the daze.
So as Ryan looks to go to make it 3-0 for bug decks of all flavors, bugs are delicious.
Yeah.
His sideboard probably doesn't have a terrible amount of action against a standard deck or cube deck, such as Nick Fit, but he does have 2 Force of Wills and 2 Vendilion Clicks to really push his tempo advantage. If he knows what Steven's completely up to, he could also side in Surgical Extraction to prevent the Academy Rector from searching up anything.
Yeah, and we've seen that like fairly recently with the No Intel decks playing, you know, Show and Tell Omniscience Academy Rector.
Right.
You know, the Academy Rector, and having that that extraction at the right time.
Or any piece of graveyard hate.
Yeah.
Will stop an Academy Rector dead in its tracks. So that's something. Maybe even Sylvan Library. There's 1 copy of that.
Just extra fuel.
Yeah.
Sylvan Library it's always an impressive card. It's hard to feel like that is even a sideboard card, because it's like, if you're playing it, you almost want it main. I mean, he has, what, 1 main? Yeah, 1 main, 1 side. I guess it's... I guess that's fine.
Yeah, that's a.
It's fine. It's
number.
such a good card.
Usually you see either Sylvan Library or Jace. You see one or the other.
Sure, yeah. He's just got 2 Jaces.
2 Jaces, two libraries total.
Right, 1 library on the board.
He's also got his deck's got a little bit of everything. We got the Delvers and like a bunch of creatures. We got 2 Scavenger Goose, 3 Tarmogoyfs, 2 Hymn to Turok, 2 Spell Pierces. Only 2 Force of Wills in the entire 75, and they're both in the sideboard. Not a Force of Will in the main deck.
Yeah, very interesting kind of build of Bug Delver. Bug Delver, not a deck that you see as often in Legacy. Usually it's Bug Delver, Blue-Red Delver even.
This isn't really the tempo monster that the Rug Delver deck is.
Right.
He plays quite a bit more lands. He does not play... he does play Wasteland. The first land he listed, but... he does play Wasteland and Daze, but he does play spells that cost more than 2 mana. Like, Rug Delver plays all 1-drops and 4 Tarmogoyfs. The end. Right.
It's a very clean deck list, right?
Yeah. Whereas Ryan goes a little bit up the curve. He has some like Hymn to Turok, he has a Maelstrom Pulse, he has the aforementioned Jaces, some Snapcaster Mages, which are far too expensive for the land light.
Right, exactly. The rug lists.
Rug lists. But yeah, it still has some of the elements that help the the Rug Delver decks do well.
All right, and the players look to be about ready to draw their openers.
What is Stephen Thompson going to side in?
I have no idea. This deck is already pretty wonky, and it's kind of an uncommon deck. You see it occasionally, and he's even got some interesting choices in the deck, as we were mentioning.
Yeah, he's not even a
typical.
He's got non-standard choices for a non-standard deck.
Yeah. Or say atypical choices for an atypical deck. Yeah, because all these decks are non-standard.
That's true. One card I can guarantee that's coming in is Carpet of Flowers.
Carpet of Flowers is the. You want to put that up for us?
Carpet of Flowers is
it's an enchantment from Urza's Saga, I believe.
I believe it's Urza's block.
Urza block enchantment, green enchantment, and it allows you to add mana of any color, like during your main phase, one of your main phases.
Yes.
Adds a mana of any color for each island your opponent produces.
Your opponent's control.
Yeah. Or each island your opponent controls, not produces. I guess they have to produce them into the onto the board.
There's a Carpet of Flowers. There are 3 copies of that in Steven's deck.
It is from Saga, yeah. Uncommon there. Rebecca Guay. And
I can also see against the actual card Delver Secrets. I haven't seen this card in a million years. Raking Canopy.
Raking Canopy. I'm trying to remember what that is. I haven't seen that in a while either. I can't even picture it.
Let's play Name That Magic card.
Yeah.
Raking Canopy is a 3-mana enchantment from maybe Shadowmoor.
You want to put that in front of this?
Yeah, you might as well just put the whole visual spoiler of.
Oh, I see. We're having some
technical difficulties.
Temperature issues with the computer. In fact, the temperature's going down. The computer is now freezing.
Oh,
there we go. Cool. Raking Canopy.
There you go.
Whenever a creature with flying attacks you, Raking Canopy deals 4 damage. That's sweet. Turn 1 top, which does not... It appears to be exiled, but I don't see any reason why it would have been. I think it's just where he put it.
Yeah. That's Steven's in-play zone right there.
Yeah. We've got a Polluted Delta from Ryan Phramer.
It looks like does Steven have a Sakura Tribe Elder?
He does. 2 copies.
It looks like one in his hand. That's one of my classic favorites. Big Sakura Tribe Elder fan. It's actually a lot more fun now that damage doesn't stack.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just make 1 toughness creatures completely unplayable.
Sure. Yeah.
Back when you could stack damage, you could block any...
block a 1 toughness guy, then stack it and get something. Right.
Correct.
Put damage on the stack.
And then their creature would still die.
Right. Damage
now
on
that
the
is
stack. Right?
Now that is not the case. You have to choose between killing their guy and getting your land.
So Ryan has a turn 1 Delver, which is not going to flip. Steven has a turn 2 Sakura Tribe Elder, as you pointed out. Passes back to Ryan again. Delver does not flip there. And,
it does. The reason it didn't flip is because it came with a second Delver.
So that was what didn't flip it.
Yeah, Delvers do not flip other Delvers. It's so mean.
They just don't like each other. They don't get along.
I feel like there are a lot of Magic cards that do not like themselves. They're not self-sufficient.
Legends don't like each other.
Right. Like, you can't Snapcaster Mage or Snapcaster Mage. Augur Bolus can't reveal Augur Bolus.
Wow, yeah. And there's a hymn to Turok.
Alright.
2 hymns is good, though.
Yeah. That's because it's an older card. The older the card, the more likely it is to be good to draw 2 copies of it. That's my completely random theory that I just made up.
Yeah, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and if it's a 5, re-roll. Or a 6, re-roll. Okay, so we got 1. Okay, so now they're going to change. Okay, 2, 4, 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's that one.
Boom.
Okay.
And we lost. Hard to say.
2
Oblivion
foils.
Ring.
And an Eternal Witness.
No, that's not an Oblivion Ring.
I see the Witness. I didn't see what the other one was.
Yeah, that's something way more expensive.
Casting cost wise.
Yes, it costs 2 white mana.
Yeah, and something else.
At minimum.
Yeah.
So it could be a Humility, could be a Sun Titan.
I don't think it's Humility because it looks foil.
That's a good point.
And there weren't any foil Humilities that I know of.
Not that I know of either.
Yeah.
Baneslayer Angel, of course. Of course. Why was that not my first guess?
Yeah.
So, Stephen Thompson just wants to cast these Angels, and Ryan's not letting him. What a meanie face.
Why did he not attack with the Delver?
Because...
the Sakura Tribe Elder was hanging out there.
Correct.
And then he just sacked it. That's what it was. Okay. There's a Pernicious Deed from Stephen Thompson.
Yeah. That is a nice Pernicious Deed. It is foil and signed.
Magically pernicious. Like Lucky Charms.
Okay.
There's a Pernicious Deed. It's like the more explosive engineered explosives.
Right.
It gets everything that costs X or less.
What is a semi-pernicious deed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pernicious deed?
Yeah. I'm shocked that one of those cards is not nicknamed for the other. Alright, so no land for...
So Delver doesn't flip. Does attack, though. No land for Ryan. Top at the end of turn for Steven. Draws the best out of his top 3. I think, was that a go? No, it wasn't. Okay.
No.
He draws his card. It almost looked like draw go.
It was a forceful draw step.
Yeah, so it is a Sakura Tribe Elder now for Stephen Thompson. That's the second one of the game for him, and that's the second one in his 75. No, he only has 2 in the 75. Yeah. So.
Ryan draws pretty much the worst card he could draw in this situation. A Jace the Mind Sculptor. You don't say that too often about Jace.
Well,
he's just the best card.
He's awful when you can't cast him. Pretty much
most cards
applies to every card, right?
Yeah.
Delver again doesn't flip, and coming over trying to see if he wants to, if this Tribe Elder wants to fight, and Tribe Elder says, "Sure, I'll fight." But
I'll fight, but
I may search for a land. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit and run over here.
And yeah, so that's it. Yeah, hit and run, I guess, is the right way to
not
look
the
at
magic
it.
card.
No, he's basically Steven prevented a damage. That's all. From the Delver.
He was going to get his land. He might as well.
Right. It's exactly if that was his plan anyway, which I imagine it was. And at this point, things are. It looks like Ryan, or it looks like there's a window for Steven because Ryan is unable to flip his Delver.
Not flipping his Delver. Steven has like that deed's gonna buy him quite a bit of time. Ryan can't just run everything in. And also, Steven has a Sensei's Divining Top active. which is actually a pretty big game. All right, let's see. Yep, Phyrexian Arena, found it. I believe that's a card that Steven put on top.
And we're gonna find out. No, it was a land.
Nope, because he wants to cast this 6 mana card.
And it's a Green Sun Zenith.
For 5. If I'm Ryan, I highly recommend countering that.
And he does. There's a Daze.
The hard cast Daze.
That could have been Sigarda. That could have been Thragtusk.
Yeah.
I think a Daze was good there to have, I think.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to hardcast Daze on a 6 mana spell.
Delver flips off Surgical Extraction.
Ryan's sensing the graveyard shenanigans. It might be.
Yeah. He's already thinking about using the extraction here, but he doesn't like anything he sees.
If I'm Ryan, I do not like any extraction here.
No. He just wants to make sure he sees what's available there, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to look at a graveyard, especially when it might hurt if you drew one and your opponent didn't know about it.
Right.
Then it's like a nice tell. But
it looked almost like he looked at the top, saw extraction, and went, "Do I want my Delver to flip at the cost of him seeing I have extraction?"
Yeah, you definitely. Ryan's definitely correct to flip his Delver.
I think so too. But
just hold the extraction, wait for something like an Eternal Witness or an Academy Rector that you can mostly counter with the extraction. Don't just do it for value. The only time you might do it for value is if Sensei's Divining Top was activated.
There's a Phyrexian Arena.
Oh man. Does Ryan have a Crossing Grip in his hand? I believe he does.
He
That's
has
awesome.
Force of Will.
It's Force of Will for the arena.
Removed something, but I didn't quite see.
Yeah, removed probably a blue card.
Yeah, I think that would be... Yeah, blue card. Yeah, I like it. I like that plan. Removing a blue card to Force of Will. Ryan in for the second time with the Insectile Aberration.
Right,
this time, Steven says...
had enough.
All right.
All right. Delver of Secrets was the discarded card.
Okay.
Exiled card to Force of Will. So Steven... defense is down. Now the floodgates are open for Ryan to just cast his creatures. As Ryan had a Delver in his hand that he just pitched. He just drew a Snapcaster Mage. I was thinking about using the Surgical. Don't do it. Ryan, don't do it.
Yeah, it feels like you're not
going
to get
Surgical something he only has one of anyway.
Yeah, it's like, don't just do it for just because you have it. Like, and it's Pernicious Deed.
At least he gets some deeds out of the deck, but
I mean, is it possible?
He gave Steven a free shuffle.
Yeah, free shuffle for Steven. How many extractions does he have? One.
Just one.
Okay. So I was like, maybe he has another one in his hand. Wants to see what's in Steven's deck.
He also has a Snapcaster Mage.
That's I guess something, you know. Still, I don't necessarily like it.
Pointing to his top. Dude, those are some nice deeds.
Tarmogoyf die.
Huge Tarmogoyf. One thing I like about Nick Fit and a lot of Legacy decks is that they go into standard mode, what I like to call standard mode. Once they get to a point where like they're both floating out, mana is not an issue. You kind of see like which deck plays the most like quote-unquote legacy unplayable cards, or that just aren't normally costed. And Steven's basically trying to skip the legacy portion of the game with Veteran Explorer. He's just like, hey, can we just both start with a bunch of lands and play and just cast our spells?
Yeah. It's like the old, I don't know if you ever used to play that, where it was like when I first started playing, where you'd go, we're just going to play 10 turns before anybody can attack each other. Like no, no attacking each other.
Nice.
Right? Like these multiplayer, it was like usually 3 players, where like you set up 10 turns, so it's like you set up, you build your army, and then you get to then start attacking, right?
All right, so Stephen Thompson reveals, well, not reveals, he tops into Academy Rector, Veteran Explorer, and a land. Academy Rector comes down, and Ryan Phramer is really sad that his
surgical extraction is no longer in his hand.
Yeah.
The one that we told him to hold and he didn't listen.
Yeah, come on, Ryan.
We tried to help you.
We're trying to help you. Although, to be fair, Ryan does have a Snapcaster Mage.
Is it in his hand?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a Snapcaster Mage in his hand. So
yeah, I imagine that's the plan here.
Right. Given how much Ryan is reading all of Steven's cards.
All right.
Oh, he's
no chance. Didn't stop him.
He did not.
Like Steven didn't give him an opportunity to do that, but I guess Ryan didn't want the opportunity.
Yeah, that was really hasty by Steven, I think.
Right, but I mean, if I'm Ryan and my plan is, okay, when that dies, I'm going to surgically extract it, then I stop him. You know, you pick up your deck, hold up. Yeah, wait up, hold on, stop. But he didn't do anything like that.
So he also did it before attackers, which I found strange. But
wait, what? How did he?
He sacrificed the Academy Rector to his Phyrexian Tower.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be some sort of block situation.
Yeah, me too. But he just wanted to get it out.
Either way, Academy Rector successfully finds a moat for Stephen Thompson, and that Tarmogoyf now unable to attack until it grows wings. Spectral Flight, Ryan Phramer? Do you have Spectral Flight? No?
Let me double check.
Just double check.
No Spectral Flight.
No Spectral Flight. Jeez, come on, what are you thinking not putting Spectral Flight in your Legacy deck? Some discussion here. Not quite sure what the discussion is about.
I can't hear him either.
You can't?
Nope.
Something's wrong with these headphones that we're not wearing. So, if you're just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco, joined in the booth by Adam Prozac, and we're coming to you guys live from Providence, Rhode Island, where we're bringing you guys coverage of Game 2 of Round 6 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open. Stephen Thompson down a game to Ryan Phramer's Bug Delver list.
Ryan looking to go make it undefeated 3-0 for bug decks.
Yes, Ryan is the third different bug variant we've seen on camera, and we've seen round 3, round 4, and round 6. I'm sorry, round 3, round 5, round 6.
Yes,
has been a bug list. So,
bugging out.
So I believe the last thing that happened there was before attackers, even though Tarmogoyf went to attack. Stephen backed him up, says, before attackers, sacrificing my Academy Rector to Phyrexian Tower, I'm going to search up a moat. And that's what happened. So Ryan Phramer now plays a Dark Confidant.
Oh, I see.
And apparently there was an issue with the rearrangement of cards in the graveyard. So.
And Legacy, you cannot do that. You're actually free to do that in Standard, but since there are Legacy legal cards that care about the order of your graveyard.
I was told at one point, and I could be wrong, or that person could have been wrong, but I was told that the way it was if you had cards that cared about the order of the graveyard, you definitely did need to keep them in order. But if you didn't play any, then it didn't matter.
I believe that was a policy. This is as far as I know. I could also be wrong as well. As far as I know, that was the policy for a short amount of time.
Okay, and maybe that was when I heard it. It was over a year ago, I imagine.
Yeah. Like, I would love to do it with Dredge, but
attention players, we're looking
definitely not allowed
to fill the last.
I've asked. Let's just put it this way: I've asked judges, and they said that I could not.
If you'd like to attend either of these two events, please come see me at the stadium.
I know in Standard and Modern, they haven't printed a card. Wizards has not printed a card.
I think that's a good thing because
that cares about graveyard order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like needless bookkeeping.
Right.
Like, I think that's like one of the best directions the game has gone recently, where the game is about the cards and how they interact, not the bookkeeping aspects of it. Oh, it's actually one of the reasons I don't like Tarmogoyf. Big Papa coming into play.
What'd you see?
A Baneslayer Angel. Maybe not yet.
Well, that was I think an end of turn top, wasn't it?
Okay.
Or no, it was during his turn top.
Yeah, Wasteland. And then so this is likely going to mean Person Grip.
1, 2, 3.
No responses.
Grip your moat and swing for 7.
I'm dropping Stephen Thompson to 8 life.
20 minutes left in the round. Ryan Phramer up a game and has the board advantage currently.
Yeah, that Tarmogoyf being 5/6 is actually hugely relevant because I believe Baneslayer is on top.
We're gonna confirm. I'm sorry,
20 seconds.
they confirmed whether or not that was a 5/6. He's gonna top anyway, and there was no Baneslayer on top, but I think it was second from the bottom. But I think he kept land.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's land.
No, he definitely kept land.
Must not have been. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and top. There he goes. Gets to the land, tops into Baneslayer Angel.
So why would Steve Thompson? Maybe he needed a second white source.
Maybe, yeah. Might have set it up that way. It's hard we can't see his mana base because of the glare.
It's so foily.
Yeah, I don't even know it's the foil. It's just the
the
glare on the sleeves. We've got a cracked polluted delta from Ryan Phramer.
Oh, there's also this. Remember this? It's a 4-mana card. It's really good in Legacy.
Did that
it's gonna totally make this Baneslayer Angel irrelevant.
Jareth?
No, that's not it.
No.
I believe. Okay, there's an M13 common that it's like mills you for set Mind Sculpt.
Yeah, Mind Sculpt. Okay, so it's something to do with Mind Sculpt. Mind Sculpt.
Oh, I know. Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah,
it's better than all.
That's it.
Patrick Chapin wrote a song about it.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
All right, so yeah, the card that is approximately 15% on camera.
Yeah,
and 85% off camera.
Tap 4 mana, play invisible card.
It's not completely invisible.
Mostly invisible.
You can see about 15% of it.
Sure. Hopefully, it doesn't just provide 15% of its abilities.
Probably it bounced 100% of the Baneslayer Angel.
Yeah, it sure did. Stephen Thompson at 1 life, and this was one of my favorite things to do in Standard. Thank you. There's Jace.
Okay.
There it is. Ryan Phramer takes the match with Jace the Mind Sculptor alongside Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidant.
And Delver Secrets. Our bug decks are now 3-0.
Again, aside from the Goyf and the Confidant being the attackers there, it did seem a little weird where you're like, Jace, bounce your Baneslayer Angel, it's 2009, woo! You know, like, that's what it felt like. Or I guess it would be 2010, because Jace came out in 2010, early 2010.
Yeah, that's the powerful thing about Jace the Mind Sculptor is like, as I mentioned, a lot of these decks, like I think Goblins is a deck that wants to get to a mid game where it starts casting like mid-range spells like 4 and 5 and 4 and 5 mana spells. Like people aren't casting Titans too often in Legacy.
Right.
It's just like prohibitive in a format of Wasteland and Daze to get to 6 mana. But there are a lot of decks that like to get the 3 and 4 mana thresholds. And Steve Thompson's just like, no, screw this. I wanna get all the lands into play.
Right.
With Veteran Explorer and get to basically the standard portion of a Legacy game. Whereas Ryan's like, okay, you can get